Hey, how's it going, guys? I hope you're doing fantastic with the vacations that are right around the corner. Personally, I'm just back from vacations where I went with one of my friends into Banff and into the west of Canada, which was absolutely wonderful. And as every beginning of the month, you know what time it is. It is the time to share with you what is my full investing portfolio update for the month of July of 2026. As you must know, we'll first start by taking a look at what are the different individual companies and ETFs that I personally hold in my portfolio, and then we'll take a look at what are the most represented sectors in it, followed by how much income I've been able to generate completely passively from my dividend investments over the past month. And at the end of the video, I'll share with you what are the different transactions that I've been making over the past month of June of 2026. So first, when it comes to one of my largest sectors in my portfolio, you can see that it is the technology sector, which is still represented by four of the big GAFAM, so companies like Apple, Meta, Google, and Amazon, as well as the EV company Tesla and the microchip company Micron Technology, where you can see that all of these companies pretty much represent a big chunk of my total investments. And at the same time, all of these businesses are also massively up compared to the average price that I've paid for these shares. So the technology sector is definitely one of my best sectors in my portfolio, but wait until you see the other ones. For the second one, which is the energy sector, you can find that I still hold two of the biggest Canadian energy companies in my portfolio, which are Enbridge and Pembina, that are both worth over 3% of my assets each, where Enbridge is also one of my biggest holdings in my portfolio with more than 10% of my assets, and all of these businesses are also quite surprisingly up compared to the average price that I've paid for it. And at the same time, as you'll see later on, these businesses are also distributing some great quarterly dividends to their shareholders. Talking about two other great companies that I have in my portfolio that are distributing great dividends, they are into the financial sector with the TD Bank, as well as one of the largest insurance companies in the world, Manulife. Both businesses are also worth quite a big and significant portion of my assets, so over 7% each, and they are also quite significantly up compared to the average price that I've paid for these shares. Another interesting Canadian company that I have in my portfolio is the consummation business Couche-Tard, which is currently worth about 4% of my assets, and that is up about 60% compared to my initial price. And another Quebec company that has been well performing lately is the business Savaria, which has been skyrocketing lately, and it currently has some unrealized gain of over 95% on this position. A company that is staying stable while giving about 6% of monthly dividend income is the real estate investment trust company Raucan, which is currently representing slightly less than 5% of my assets. But still, my biggest performer by far that has been massively performing is also the Quebec company 5 and Plus, that has been up more than 750% compared to the initial price that I've paid for these shares. Unfortunately for me, it is also the smallest position in my portfolio that is representing less than 2% of my assets, but eventually I might want to reinvest into this business if I still believe that it has some great growth ahead. Now, when it comes to my ETFs portion of my portfolio that I'm looking to increase over the next couple of weeks and months, you can see that the first one, which is also my largest position, is the Vanguard S&P 500 Index ETF with the ticker VFV. At the moment, this ETF represents about 12% of my assets, and by representing the 500 largest American companies by valuation, you can see that I'm currently up more than 80% on my average price. In my registered retirement savings plan, I also hold a few shares of its US equivalent, which is VOO, which currently represents less than 1% of my assets. Now, to track the global stock market worldwide, I have decided to invest into the iShares Core Equity ETF portfolio with the ticker XEQT. So this ETF that is tracking all the different important markets worldwide is currently worth about 4% of my assets, but I want to increase this ponderation to at least 10% in the near future, and it currently is up of more than 46% compared to my average price. Now, for my Canadian ETF tracking the great Canadian market, I have decided to invest into the iShares S&P TSX 60 Index ETF with the ticker XIU. This one is also worth close to 4% of my assets, and in the near future, I also want to increase this ponderation to at least 10% of my total investments, and it currently is up more than 58% compared to my initial price. In my RRSP, I also have a few shares of the famous Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF with the ticker SCHD. By harvesting the dividends of some of the best dividend US companies, I'm only up about 8% compared to my average price. So lately I've been thinking about selling a certain portion of this investments to invest it somewhere else. And finally, when it comes to my cash reserve, which is quite useful for my different real estate projects and renovations, for example, I still invest into the Global X High Interest Savings Account ETF with the ticker cash. Right now, this reserve has been slowing down and has been shrinking over the past month because I had different renovations to make, but it is still worth about 5% of my assets. As I mentioned previously in my videos, my objective is to keep this liquidity reserve to at least 10 to 15%. So obviously it's going to be one of my main goals over the next couple of months to re-increase this liquidity reserve. But all of this makes that my investment portfolio is currently worth about $224,000, which is some unrealized gain of over $100,000 or a profit of about 83%. And when we take a look at solely the ETF section, you can see that it is currently worth about $63,000, and eventually I want to increase this value to at least $100,000. But for now, you can see that this section is still the largest sector of my portfolio, with the technology sector, where both sectors basically represents about 28% of my assets each. Then we can also find two of the best Canadian fields, with the financial and the energy field, that are coming at the third and the fourth place. And then you find the other sectors that are present in my portfolio. So the real estate sector, the consumption sector, the material sector, and the other sector with 5 and plus. When it comes to the passive income that I've been able to generate completely passively from my dividend investments over the past month, you can see that it has been my best month so far in the year, with over $700 of dividend investments. And this has come from the payouts of certain companies such as Enbridge, Raucan, and Savaria, as well as the payments of certain ETFs such as XEQT, VOO, and SCHD. So this brings my year-to-date income of more than $2,340, which is quite good and quite more compared to what I used to make last year at the same period. And in terms of the transactions that I've been making over the past month, you can see that I've been making 0 transactions, because the only thing that I've been paying over the past month has been different expenses related to real estate. But talking about real estate, if you're looking to discover on your side what has been my own investing journey when it comes to real estate investment, well, check out the video that is going to be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.